Hello, hello. This is a pick a card reading for artists. So if you're an actor, singer, anyone in the creative arts, performing arts, this is a pick a card reading for you to give you any guidance or anything that you need to hear about your career. So I have three piles. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. On pile number 1, we have the amethyst. 2, we have the clear quartz, and 3, we have aventurine. So just want to take you to take a deep breath in and exhale. Just want to let out all your tension, really get centered, and allow your intuition to guide you to which pile will have the message that would resonate most with you, that will give you the most guidance and is exactly what you need to hear right now. You may be drawn to the crystal or the pile number, or just have a sense or a knowing which pile that you feel would have the best message for you. Okay, so now that you picked a pile, I'm going to start with pile number 1, the amethyst crystal. Get these out of the way. So I'm actually just going to shuffle them, and because I use a few different decks, but I'm going to see how the message unfolds with them. So we have animals and children. I feel like animals and children are actually quite related. So you may be working like on say a movie set that has a lot of animals and children, or you could be working at a circus or something where it allows you to be creative and work with both animals and with children. If you're not already working in that kind of field, maybe it's something that you always considered, always thought about, but never actually moved forward. But this is kind of telling you that the universe is supporting you if you decide to take your creative talents and gifts and merge them with animals and children. So this one is dance with life. Do something to change your energy. So it could be that, what you're doing right now, you might be stagnant. You might not, feel that you're moving forward in your career. You may feel that, you are at a certain level of success, but, you're not satisfied anymore. You want more. It's just, you're kind of at a standstill. You're kind of in limbo. And this could maybe be relating to animals and children, maybe bringing more animals and children. It has such a pure and honest energy, both of these, both animals and children. Like children are youthful. There's sparks of light and energy and creativity. Like they're just like the essence of like possibility. And animals, in the sense of it, the same thing. They're just, all they can really do is give out love. And so I think that you might be missing some of those elements within your career right now. And, changing your energy might be just changing who you're working with on a day-to-day basis. Working with children would bring out a different side of you. It would allow you to be more playful. It would allow you to be more patient, allow you to be more understanding, and finding new ways to interact with the world, and obviously with children or animals. So then there's also Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying the foundation's divine plan. So this is kind of telling me that, you've had some ideas up until this point. It might be involving animals and children. And it's kind of saying that to start taking action in that direction, that, you're not having these inklings and these desires and these, flashes of ideas for no reason. It's actually your soul calling you and asking you to follow through with these inklings. And this would be laying the foundation for something even better than maybe you could even imagine right now. This could be something completely new. This also actually, what just kind of popped into my head was Harry Potter, and being that, maybe if you're a writer, it's for you to write an animal and children, oriented book that's going to be a huge success, and then it'll be taken into movies and it'll be taken onto the theater. And so right now, these ideas that you're having, the universe is really telling you to start putting them on paper, like start making them happen instead of it just living in the imagination. It's time to make them concrete and bring them into reality. So this one is Sacred Journey, Life Cycles, Family, and Transformation. So you might be from maybe a writing family, or you're from a family that like you kind of followed along in the past of like your father. Maybe, you know, your father was a writer, so you became a writer, or something in that regard. It seems that, you know, what you've been doing up until now is something that would be expected from someone within your family. I do feel that it's in, you know, the arts realm, because you wouldn't be listening to this reading if not. But it is part of your sacred journey, and you know, you are following maybe your ancestors' footsteps, but I think right now is like your time to make it into your own. It's your time to morph it into something new, to dance with life, as it's saying here. It's change your energy, like instead of it being something that you always did, make it something new and exciting. So then we have Sacred Heart, Passion, Love, Spiritual Communion. So it's kind of like, you know, you've been doing things, you know, like your family has expected you to do, or following in the footsteps of your ancestors. But now it's kind of your turn to take your passions to the next level. It's like your heart is telling you to do more, do something else, do something unsafe, to step out of the box of familiarity and expand and grow and move forward. And I really feel that you're kind of, you're on the precipice of developing something bigger than your wildest dreams. And here we go. This is kind of encouraging that. So saying to be fearless. On the other side of fear is all your greatest desires. That's everything you could ever want is on the other side of fear. And fear is only there just to remind you of how badly you want it, or how important it is for you to be on the other side of fear. Nothing important is ever done without having this slight inkling of fear. You know, the first airplane being flown, I'm sure they were very, very terrified that, you know, their journey, they weren't going to be able to live through that first journey. So I feel that like you might be afraid of the future, or afraid of what's to come, if you kind of step out of the path that you're currently in and into a more creative like a writing field is what it feels like to me. So maybe you're an actor and all your parents or your family's been an actor, and you know you haven't done anything else in your whole life. You're a child star and you want more. You want something else. Well, I think right now, looking at animals and children and maybe creating some new epic novel that, you know, catapults you into a new stratosphere of excellence in the arts. I think that your fear is just your ego wanting you to stay safe and wanting you to stay small. And I feel that you deserve more, and I think the world deserves to hear what you have to say. And this is another kind of similar to the Fearless card, Ace of Wands. When I think of the Ace of Wands, aces are always about new beginning, and wands are about passion and creativity. And this is your opportunity to take your new beginning, your new idea, your new passion, and start it. You're planting the seed. You're laying the foundation, as you know, this card was saying. Laying the foundation of your new idea. You're cultivating an entire new experience for everybody in the world, and for yourself as well, and being identified as something different than you always have been. So I really feel like right now is the time to put your plans into action. So then I get the Two of Cups. So cups generally represent relationships, represent love, emotions. And when I see twos usually mean coming together. So maybe, you know, your significant other, or if you are looking to get into a new relationship, I feel as though this person will actually help inspire you. So maybe to be a muse, or maybe a writing partner, or maybe someone that you bounce ideas off of. I feel like, this love connection, if it hasn't already been made yet, it's coming soon, and it's going to help you want to do something else, want to do something new, allow you to be fearless, because they're going to be really supportive of you, and really championing you and getting behind you in your new career endeavors. And then we have the Emperor. This is like one of the best cards. It's the best money card in the deck. And it's telling me that if you kind of follow this new path, this new journey, if you get onto the other side of fear, you will become the Emperor. So it's kind of like a new domain, a new position for you. Like, you're going to be at the top and kind of ruling the biggest money card in the deck. So it's telling me that, if you follow these steps, if you allow, your creativity to be sparked, if you start laying down the foundations, start creating something new that's involving animals and children, if you step outside of your family lineage and what is expected of you, and you kind of move towards what your heart is calling you, you will have more success than you would ever have expected. This Eight of Cups, and this is interesting. So 8 of Cups generally means letting go of, past hurts and past pain. You may have, maybe when you were younger, tried to do something different or step out of the box, and maybe got ridiculed, or maybe didn't get as much support as you would have liked. And so it seems as though that is kind of holding you back. That's what's allowing the fear to creep in, is that, might be rejected or might not be appreciated for, what your new creative endeavor. But this is saying that it is behind you. You don't have to live in the past anymore to move forward in your future. Your past, yes, it can inform your future, but you can't allow it to hold you in the past. You got to keep moving forward. So just know that you are loved, and that, these heart urges and these inklings of thought and imagination are coming to you for a reason, to follow it and be fearless and not let anything stop you. This is the Chariot. This is another card that's kind of saying to take a step forward. It's kind of like you're at a crossroad. You have two decisions to make. The Chariot as well as the Emperor are from the Major Arcana, and the Major Arcana is like major life events and changes. This is a major time in your life to make this decision. You can choose one way or the other, but I'm saying be fearless and start laying down the foundation of this new career endeavor for yourself, because the time is now. And then we also have the Four of Pentacles. It's just kind of like the Emperor. Pentacles are generally about material world and foundations and potentially money. And the Four is about stability. So you may be worried about your financial stability right now if you were to quit whatever you're doing creatively to make money right now, and kind of go towards your dreams. But I feel, though, is that if you do that, if you do, change your career choice and work towards what we've been talking about up until this point, be fearless, the end result will be the Emperor. So right now, yeah, you're stable, and you're comfortable, and you don't need to worry about anything. You're comfortable. But who wants to be comfortable? You want to be excited. You want to move forward. You want to see what else is possible. So then I have this card. It's Love. On this other side, it says, get some, give some, it'll cheer your ass up. It'll cheer your ass up. This is like a very crass deck, this one. It's the Rebel deck. I think that's kind of going along with, finding a love relationship. If you aren't already in one, that person is going to be really supportive of you and your career. This is kind of a reminder. It's saying that you are talented and fucking amazing. The world needs your power. Use your voice. Just don't use it for dumb shit. So it's just saying that your thoughts are being heard and that the world needs it. And then the final card, interestingly enough, is Return to Spirit. And so I would feel that this is saying that Spirit is guiding you in this direction. Spirit wants, this new adventure for your life, this new path, this new way of looking at the world, and it will support you, and especially in your love relationship, it will support you as well. I feel like I should pull 2 accurate tarot cards. So that's the Magician and the Emperor again. So that is telling me that like a lot of money is to be made if you kind of follow through with your imagination. And the Magician is the most imaginative card in the deck. It's actually one of my favorite cards because it's the spark of anything. Anything can happen when, you allow the universe to guide you. That those sparks of magic, like it gets ignited. Like you can change the world. Anything happens with this spark of magic. If you think of everything in your life, all started with a imagination, whether it's your table, whether it's, a fridge, like anything that's been created in this world, all started from a spark of imagination, the magic, something being ignited. You are able to manifest a completely new life, and, your talent and your creative energy can be channeled for you to be withholding the biggest money cards in the deck. You got 2 of them, and that means a lot because there are a lot of cards that I went through, and for you to land with 2 of them, I think it's a really important message. And I'm gonna do 1 or 2 maybe of these Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. Let's see. TikTok. That seems pretty clear as to what that means. And Milk and Honey. I don't know what Milk and Honey means. I might have to read the book for that one. For TikTok, though, I feel that it's saying, like, these ideas have been coming to you probably for a while, and it's time for you to act on them. The Ace of Wands, it's not a stagnant card. It's mean like, let's act now. Let's move forward now. The 4 of Pentacles is more of a stable card. Let's stay, let's keep things as they are. But TikTok is saying like, let's move forward and make this happen now. So now what does Milk and Honey mean? So the taste of prosperity, opportunities born of authenticity, nurturing abundance, trusting that your needs will be met. You've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious. When all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe, these times are precious and only come when you're in an authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are giving the gift of nourishment in every form. So, and the prosperity message, actually, I'm just going to read a little bit of it. There is only one authentic you, this version of yourself, spirit's emissary in the world. When you're in alignment with the truth that you are a unique expression of the divine, your ego can rest and your soul can illuminate your purpose. Now is the time when you're seeking your true north. When you find this direction, you automatically step into prosperity, and the world brings you the evidence of abundance. Miracles are a choice and a way of seeing the world. With every choice you make right now, you have the potential to seize good fortune and embrace your destiny. Opportunities will lead you to your best life right now. Be open to them. You're getting a sweet taste of what you want. And I think that is exactly encompassing what we've been talking about this entire reading. Right now, your soul is guiding you to have this new adventure within your life, within your creative life, and allowing the magic of the universe to lead you into the direction, whether it's through your intuition, whether it's through synchronicities, whether it's through your love relationship. The universe is conspiring right now for you to have, the most amazing life possible. So I hope, group number 1, that this has served you well, and I will be on to group number 2 next. So let me just get rid of these cards and start with group number 2. So this one's a clear quartz. I'll do a little shuffle like I did before and see how these come out. All right. So we have Justice, the Hermit. So both these cards are actually from the Major Arcana. Major Arcana talks about life's major events and major changes. These are life changing. These are not just day-to-day events. These are big deals. The Dream. Something is revealed, insight, breakthrough. The Temptress. Seduction, deceit, a broken promise. So with the Hermit is usually talking about getting introspective, looking inward, taking some time on your own to really be reflective. The Hermit's also carrying a lantern, and he's standing on top of a mountain, which is kind of like they are a lighthouse. They are, someone with wisdom and knowledge that people are able to look up to. So I feel that in your career right now, that you're at the top of your profession. It could be that, because I see justice makes me think of lawyers. So maybe you are a entertainment lawyer, or that maybe you're a producer or something in that kind of realm where you have like different knowledge and you have other people that work for you or work with you that you kind of have the final say with. But this is kind of telling me, though, these other 2 cards is that maybe that isn't enough right now. It's kind of similar to the first reading, is that you want something more. The Temptress. So maybe that there's an idea that you have been tempted by. Maybe it's a topic that's kind of taboo. Maybe it's a topic that you don't necessarily want to get into. It may be controversial, but maybe it's a story that you really feel that you need to bring to light, to justice. So light and love. Your purpose is to bring divine healing, light, and love to this world. And 8 of Cups. So you might have had just in your life and potentially career some hardships. Cups are generally about relationships or emotions, feelings, love sometimes. But it's saying that, you're walking away. If you look at the card, you're walking away from all these emotions. And so it could be in the past that you've had to maybe stifle your emotions. You had to maybe squash them, put them down, and not allow them to influence your life and your career. And up until this point, it's worked. You've been able to be kind of cold-hearted, get things done, very, very factual, this is how it is. But it's kind of saying that, you might have been put your emotions on the back burner, and they haven't really been informing you. Your heart has not been open to informing you right now. And so let's see what else we got. So this one from the Rebel deck is you are giving too many fucks. Give 0. So give 0 fucks. So whatever might have hurt you in the past, it's actually time to let that go, because it's not allowing you to grow in your career or morph your career. You're as I was saying, like kind of like a lawyer or a person that's kind of doesn't see the compassion in things. Not even the creativity has kind of lost its steam with you, and you're gonna have to move through that in order for you to get back into your life purpose. The dream, when you were 6 years old, I'm sure you had an idea of how you wanted your life to be, or like what you were passionate about, or what you found fun. And that little man or that little boy or little girl is still within you, still inside you. So that little boy or girl's dreams, they still want to be realized. I also got, you are giving away your power. You are a badass. Act like it. So you are acting like a badass, I think. But I think that you have a lot more power and influence in your emotional story. So if there's something really traumatic, or like just like a heartfelt story that you've been drawn to, that you've been always wanting to share, or you want to bring justice to a community or a person who's gone through some hardships, or it's time for you to bring this story to the forefront. And by you not allowing your emotional life to influence you anymore, that is you giving away your power, not necessarily your intellectual power. Your heart power is kind of what these cards are saying that you're giving away. And it's time for you to take that back and not allow the emotions that you've faced in the past to inform you right now. So birthing, what's this gonna match with? So birthing usually, it tells me it's like a new idea, or like it's a time period where, gestation period, where, you're cultivating creativity. It's a new idea is about to come through. It's in the process of, it's happening. Another deck, I'm getting the Magician here. This is really interesting. I guess a lot of you creatives need to hear some of the same messages. In group number 1, I pulled the 8 of Cups as well, which is very interesting. So the Magician, I think I'll go a little bit with birthing. It's igniting new ideas, new possibilities, new thoughts, new creativity, everything is new and impossible and exciting. It's like he has one hand up to the gods, to possibility, and he's actually taking all that energy from the universe, and he's allowing it to let him do anything that he wants. Especially since it seems like you have a lot of authority within your career right now. You can use that power as a way to get these more heartfelt stories to be told. 2 of Wands is going to go in this realm, because Wands are talking about fire, passion, creativity, and 2s is like coming together. So it's like maybe you're going to be partnering with somebody that has an idea or a story that you connect to, that you want to work with. It's going to be a partnership of some sort, of a creative avenue, where a new idea is going to be told. That's going to kind of lead you away from the more conservative or strict or less creative, less emotional world that you're in right now. Teaching, that's interesting. Teaching, so you inspire young people to learn. So maybe you came from humble upbringings. Maybe there's a lot about your life that you kind of put behind you. For instance, maybe you were adopted and you spent a lot of time in the foster system, or you've had some negative experiences with early parenting, and you kind of stifled that and put those feelings away, and you allowed them up until this point to really propel you into being a very successful, seemingly more business person, maybe within the creative field, but still more so on the business side. But this is saying that right now, if you were to tell your story and tell where you came from, that you will be teaching a new generation of people of how to become super successful, and your story may be the one, maybe you have to come to terms with your story and start to tell that, because that is kind of what the world needs to hear. People watch television, read books to see someone like them, or experience something that they could never do, or know that something is possible. So I feel that it's really important for you to tell your story. And so we have the Prince of Pentacles. So the Pentacles that generally talk about money in a material world. The Prince of Pentacles would more so be kind of like the knight in traditional tarots. And it's kind of like you're not necessarily ready to move forward. Knights are usually charged forward, but pentacles are stuck in the ground. So you're not charging forward. You have the passion and like the desire to do something new and do something different, but there's something that's keeping you grounded where you are right now. It could be that you don't want to necessarily delve back into the emotional part of your upbringing. It could also be that, you know, you're not sure if you'll be successful and you don't necessarily want to change your financial world or your material world, but know that the rest of the cards are supporting you making this decision and this move forward. So Mintaken, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So I think this is actually talking about kind of your upbringing. Maybe, you know, what you need to work on is maybe you're doing a documentary about you finding your birth parents, or I'm not sure why I keep on thinking that you are adopted, but it's like kind of longing for home sometimes mean that you might have created like a new truth for yourself, but there's something that you might be feeling is authentic or inauthentic about who you present yourself to be. So maybe everybody thinks that you came from a trust fund family, but when really you came from a really, really, really humble upbringing. So I would say looking at your past and your truth is going to be really important if you want to move in this direction. And another birthing card. So birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And so this is kind of in this general area again. So maybe even to rebirth yourself, change your history, change what you've told everybody as how you started, and maybe be more truthful if you haven't been completely honest about where you came from. But this is the time is right now, because the universe is supporting you. You have the Magician saying that if you take, these new ideas and these new thoughts and, maybe delve into your, more emotional past, it's going to teach people. It's going to bring, light and love to a generation of people. Then you have Gifted. So there might be some, childhood traits or activities or things that you were really, really good at as a child that you just don't do anymore. And it's just telling me to start just getting back into the things that you loved as a child. I also want to let's pull a wisdom, the Oracle card deck. Let's pull Observer. And breathe. So just right off the bat, like Observer, it kind of tells me that you've been taking maybe a back seat in the creative elements of your life. So you've been really good at like the math, the numbers, the schooling, getting, the paperwork done. You're great at that stuff, and you've been kind of observing the creative world on the periphery. But now it's just kind of telling me that you need to just take a deep breath and allow yourself to be an emotional, creative being, and allow that to influence your work from this point forward. It might be a complete career change. It might change how you look at different projects, but breath is life. And if you put breath into something new, it's going to birth it. It's going to allow it to, as soon as a baby comes in the world, the first thing it does is take a deep breath. And a brand new baby is the utmost inspiration. So it means that anything is possible. Just take a deep breath. All your dreams are really about to come true if you let it. And let's just do a couple of Oracle cards. So I have the Ten of Cups, which is about happiness, family, joy, and the Empress. So the Empress is a mother figure. It's loving, it's abundant, it's creativity, it's fertility. Kind of goes in this little section over here. It's kind of just saying that everything is coming together if you cultivate this new idea, if you allow this, the breath to move forward, a new way of looking at your life, to retell your story, to allow the emotional past that you've had to be a part of you and allow it to maybe be the story that needs to be told. People are ready to listen. People want to hear what you have to say. And with that, I think that, with working through your past, you will be able to have like a wonderful family life, a full life. You'll have a career that's flourishing in a different way than you would expect it to. And you will maybe attract like the love of your life, and you'll have that aspect of your life be full as well. 10 is about new beginnings, but with lesson learned. So the lessons learned could be you working through your past family history, your upbringing, and now it's time for you to take a step the ones are new beginnings. So 10 is a one, but with lessons learned. So the new beginning is birthing a new idea, allowing the magic and the energy of the universe to inform you, to let your gifts that when you were younger to inform you again, to be introspective, allow yourself to be the light, the beacon that people looks to. I think this is a really, really positive reading, but it could become emotional for the fact that it seems that you might have been, stifling or avoiding any of negative emotions that you might experience in your past or in your childhood. But know that when you work through it and when you bring this to, into a creative avenue, it's going to be well received and well appreciated. So group number 2, my clear quartz, and we're going to use the clear quartz to clear away any negative energy that might be resonant, and hopefully you'll be able to move through your past. But I hope it resonated with you, and I'm going to move on to group number 3. So we have, that's the Adventurine for group number 3. Just gonna give it a little shuffle. All right. 10 of Swords. 9 of Wands. Okay, so you guys have been going through a lot lately. 9s are generally, about the end of completing something, about endings. Wands about passion or fire energy, creativity. But specifically this particular card, it means that you're bruised but not broken. You've gone through the war and you've come out on the other side, but like you still went through the war. So I feel like your career has been not as easy, we'll say, as you would hope it to have been. You're still doing it, you're still trucking on, but you kind of just want to take a deep breath and you want to relax. 10 of Swords now is kind of saying that you're kind of done. Maybe right now you've been considering whether or not you want to continue to move forward in this career choice. You may be experiencing what some say, the hardships of the life of an artist. But also remember though that 10s are a new beginning. So this would tell me that if you stick with it, that things are about to change, that there is going to be something new on the horizon. 10s are new beginnings with lessons learned. So you've gone through the war, you trudged through the grounds, and now you're going to come out on the other side with a new beginning. So let's see where this new beginning is going. Intuitive communication, silent whisper of the heart. So all 3 of these readings, including this one, is kind of talking about the communication that you would have with what I call the divine. Some people might say God, could be inner knowing, yourself, your higher self. but it's like you've probably been having inklings of the universe communicating with you, whether it's seeing like 111, 222, 333, like consistent number patterns around, or finding dimes on the ground or feathers. There could be ways that the universe has been communicating with you, that you just maybe have noticed but not have known why. And tells me that you are on the right path, and it's showing you that if you listen, you'll get, your next idea. You'll get informed as to how to move forward. So all three readings also talk about loss. So you may be feeling as though you should have gotten to where you needed to be already. So this is like you've gone to the war, and I think that you're really sad that, maybe you feel that your youth is all wasted up and you didn't get to where you wanted to be. So time to grieve that, but know that there's actually no time in the universe. And, if you're going to be happy, like if everything's going to come together tomorrow, wouldn't have been worth it up until this point. So as an artist, I feel like we are all healers. It says you have the spiritual gift of healing and a desire to share it with others. But this kind of tells me that maybe you have some other realm, we'll say, healing capabilities. So if you've been interested in maybe Reiki or even massage or acupuncture or yoga, even learning about chakras, anything that's maybe considered esoteric, tarot cards, oracle cards, rune readings, psychic readings, mediumship, if any of this has been kind of something that you've been thinking about lately, I would say that to layer it in with your creative work that you're doing right now, you might want to start just teaching yourself something new, learning something new, because you never know like how learning a new trade will help you within like your artistic career. And you got builder. Your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. When I think of the builder, though, I feel like it's something material, but maybe it's actually building a different Joe job. A lot of artists have a Joe job while they are, nurturing their creative job. So maybe at this time, if you have some other interests, so whether within the healing arts, I would say that right now would be the time to maybe start building that as your career Joe job, as opposed to, say, working in a restaurant or, whatever people do while they're, working towards their career, their artistic career. I would say that maybe instead it's time to change that avenue and do something that also your heart is guiding you to do simultaneously with your career. So this one's Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening now. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know much about Lemuria, but I think it was like it's underneath Mount Shasta. It's like an ancient city or an otherworld city that was considered heavenly. It was like amazing. Everybody's love was emanating. So I think that if you really focus on like the healing parts that you might be guided towards, that you'll be surprised that it might start bringing you closer to the creative career that you're looking for. It's just going to all start to flow in the right direction. Yeah, allow your intuitive communication to really focus you on where you need to go, but like using that as your compass, like, your thoughts about the healing arts is actually really going to inform you on like something new that you're going to build simultaneously. Now this one's weird. So it says, don't believe every shitty thought you have. Thoughts can be sneaky, lying bastards. And that's actually really true. Maybe, you've had the thought of like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm not a healer. Oh, I'm not psychic. Oh, people think psychics are stupid. Oh, I can't make money doing that. All of these are negative thoughts, negative beliefs that aren't actually true. You can do whatever you want at any time you want. It can happen instantaneously if you believe it. Belief is the power of manifestation. And shitty thoughts, you're not going to actually manifest the things that you really truly want. So I think that if you've had any hesitation towards this healing career, or looking into the healing arts, or even that intuition exists, or if magic exists, all that negative thoughts, get them out the window, because they're limiting you. They're not allowing you to step into the person that you deserve to be. The Three of Swords, sorrow. Three of Swords are generally, I usually say, like the heartbreak card if you are going through a breakup. This could mean that for the time being, you might put a pause in your creative arts career while you kind of start working in the healing arts and just developing completely new skills. And what's really interesting is that as an artist, you kind of tap into the same thing. Imagination is where everything begins, whether it's as a psychic or as an actor. Like, your imagination sparks and brings in new life. And so maybe, though, the Three of Swords is saying, like, what you thought it was your career and your life was going to be like, we're going to break up with that idea, and we're going to maybe focus now on a new way of looking at my life. So maybe focusing on the healing arts, and then allowing the artistic side to re-feed back in. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. So the Queen of Swords, we call her Margaret Thatcher. Her word means everything. And this is telling me that you have the capability of being at the top of your game. You can speak, you're eloquent, and you also can work well with other people. Threes means coming together. Pentacles is usually building something. So I feel that you are right now are going to start building something. So this is like kind of like a new career that's going to work simultaneously with your artistic career, but it's kind of what you maybe need to focus on right now. And the Seven of Cups is always about choices. Choices about something that moves your heart, that cups are about, can be a creativity sometimes, but more so relationships and emotions. So wherever you're emotionally drawn to, or what you're having these ideas about and these feelings for, I'll choose one of them and start working towards it, because you're not having those thoughts and feelings for no reason. And there it is again, intuition. So your intuition has been talking to you. It's being very, very persistent here that you need to work in that direction. And then frequency shift. It's telling me 100% that you need to focus a little bit on your healing arts, using your intuition, allowing your intuition to guide you. Within that, you can be, the CEO of your own company, build a new business with other people within the healing arts, and that's going to completely shift your energy. And then you are going to be able to choose what kind of roles that you want to play, or what kind of book you want to write. Like, you're going to have a little more agency, because you're going to have a stronger financial foundation. And then this is the Ever Unfolding Rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you, which is a really beautiful card. And so I think that, you have absolutely no idea what's around the corner, and all the possibilities are still available for you. You may have had thought to be a healer, but you just never thought you could. You had these limiting beliefs and these thoughts that have been kind of, influencing what you can and cannot do. It could be, a parent from when you're younger saying, like, that's silly, that's, you can't do that. But don't say you can't, because you can, because you are an unfolding road, and everything that's possible is possible for you, and that's limitless. And then the last one, it says, take a fucking trip. Go see some shits, do some new things, talk to people cooler than you. So that actually maybe says, like, go to Peru and go and walk the Machu Picchu trails, I believe it would be called, and maybe see a shaman, or get some sort of spiritual insight. Maybe that's kind of the trip that's going to be the frequency shift that's going to allow you to start moving, to be guided by your intuition and lead more so of a career within the healing arts, and then allow that to inform your creative career. So then let's just pull a couple cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle. Blessed, lovely. 22. I wonder if you guys noticed that one. And go the distance. So yeah, especially if you've had a lot of people in your life up until now saying that you can't work in the healing arts, you can't be a medium, a psychic, or whatever it is. You can go the distance, and maybe actually going and taking a trip and allowing yourself to reintegrate with your intuitive self. Maybe it even is to do a yoga retreat, or just some way that you get to be connected with yourself and focus on your own intuition and your intuitive communication. That I think is really important right now, and that is you going the distance. It's actually you not allowing naysayers to inform your steps moving forward. And this is, I think, just as a message that you are blessed, that like all your thoughts or ideas are your inner self, your soul, your higher self guiding you to what your heart desires, what your soul desires, what the universe desires for you. And you are supported. So take a fucking trip. You're gonna get there. And then lastly, I'm gonna pull a couple more cards here. See the final message. So we have the King of Wands. Great. And the Son of Swords. So the Son of Swords, so sons are like the knights. And so I feel that you feel that you might have to like battle against other people, that if you were going to follow your truth and follow your life purpose and follow your intuitive side, that you're going to have to face a lot of naysayers. And this is possibly true, but it's also a lot of people have a lot of things to say when people are doing things that they want to do themselves. And so I think that you will be an inspiration if you take the steps and follow your heart's desires and follow your own life purpose. So this is showing that you have tenacity, that you have the strength and the courage to move forward into this direction. And I believe in you. And the King of Wands, it's just telling me that, your success is going to be supported, and that it's going to allow you to become a king in the creative world. I think that both are going to go really, really well hand in hand. Your intuition and your spiritual side, as well with your creativity and your creative art side. And right now we're merging them together, but I feel that you just need to focus a little bit on the spiritual side and allow that to be something that you're pairing with your creative side. So I hope that this resonated with you, group number 3, the Adventurines. And I will see you guys all very soon. Take care.